Alrighty, so today's tutorial is going to be on the Naginata because it's a really interesting weapon. I really like this thing. I absolutely adore it. Beautiful weapon. And secondly, someone specifically requested it, so it's what I'm doing a demonstration on. I will note, no one's requesting this in my YouTube comment sections because I don't have enough subscribers for that. But if you guys do want to see something interesting and you are commenting, just feel free to ask. I usually just get questions from my friends and I like making demonstrations, so may as well. So I will preface this by saying I do not own a Naginata. They are really expensive and I just cannot afford one. So I'm using my quarterstaff. It is exactly 6 feet long and I use it for bow staff tricks. I am making this exceedingly clear because while the handle is the correct thickness for a polearm like the Naginata, it is not going to be balanced the same because if you can use it for bow staff tricks, it is balanced at the center, and that is not good for a cleaving polearm like the Naginata. Because the Naginata, which is a Japanese style of blade, go ahead and look it up. I implore you to. If you don't understand something, you don't know something, always Google it. Great advice to do. But it is a wide cutting blade on a long handle. And the reason for that is because it generates a lot of force when you make simple motions, and it's also got really good reach. So, with all that out of the way, it will not handle like an actual Naginata, but I will do my absolute best to replicate it in this demonstration, so all of the things that you see me do will carry over. Right, so first things first, you are going to work on your footwork, because that is mandatory in any martial skill that you practice. If you don't work on your footwork, you don't use the weapon. It is going to be different than a sword, but it is very similar, so keep that in mind. Your front dominant leg will be put forward. My dominant leg is my right leg, so it's what I'm putting forward. Toe directly in front of you. Your non-dominant leg will be off to the back, and unlike in swordsmanship where your foot is either behind so that you can retreat more easily, or to the side so that you can step and retreat, or maintain your ground, you're actually going to put your foot forward. So you're going to have both feet forward, and like most Japanese martial weapons, and any art including them, it's a very forward-heavy fighting style. So since you have this massive bladed polearm, you want to push forward. You want to use that advantage. You have reach and you have cleaving power. Utilize it. When you're swinging this thing, it does not take a lot of effort to generate a ton of force. So don't do big flashy spins because that's ridiculous. Don't do that. Terrible idea. Will get you stabbed. Don't do it. But when you're using it, quick, aggressive, and decisive motions will get the job done. So with the footwork in mind, I'm just going to run through a few drills, right? So when you're doing a side swipe, use your hips. You rotate down here. You don't just use your arms like this, because while it is quick and snappy, it's nowhere near as fast and nowhere near as devastating as if you had rotational force in those hips. So just arms, this is the fastest I can get this thing. And a Naginata would be heavier, so it would be even slower. But with my hips, virtually an instant movement. Same thing if you're doing an upward swipe. You tilt your core upwards. Because if you just use your arms, it's not going to be very fast. However, unlike with a side swipe, with your arms, you can use them to put yourself in more advantageous positions. So if your opponent is trying to attack a certain line, you can use your arms to move your weapon without committing too heavily to a certain motion. So with Naginata in mind, right? You're holding it, you have your weapon in hand. You're going to take your weapon and practice the basic down strikes. These are the simple motions that you will need to know to use it to its maximum effectiveness. Practice these 6 lines and you are absolutely set. That is all there is to it. It is a large cleaving blade with a ton of torque because of the length of the handle. The further down you go, the more power you get, but the more leverage your enemy can use against you, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but it can be pretty nasty. So, choke up on the handle if you want more control. Extend it if you want more power. It'll look a little bit something like this. For speed and like the best of both worlds, hold it about here on the handle. So you'll do stuff like this. But for power, hold it down here and really just give it a whumping. Swing as hard as you can, and I can guarantee you, you will absolutely cleave something. Beautiful weapon. I suggest practicing with it if you have one. If you would like to learn how to use one but you don't have one, There are other videos online. This is just the most basic rundown to make the weapon more known, because not everyone's going to know about it, and to give you the most basic information you can use for any polo.